my husband at the time, we sought out counseling from our pastor. And I remember there was this one day, I remember like it was yesterday. My first husband was talking. He was answering a question that our pastor had asked him, but I can remember him just looking at him and saying, in the middle of his sentence, he said, "I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you." And he looks over at me and he says, "Jess, I don't believe that you know the Lord the way that you think you do. I, I do not believe that you have a relationship with the Lord." It was the meanest thing anyone had ever told me. I was immediately defensive. I was like, "You don't know me. You don't know us." He did. He knew us and he knew me. And I said, "You don't know what you're talking about. I've known the Lord since I was 8. I've had a relationship with the Lord since I was 8. And he said, "I know you're not going to speak to me again. I know you're mad." I mean, I was fuming. And he said, "I know you're mad, but if you will just do me one favor, if you will just go home and get alone with God and ask him one thing, do I know you?" So I go home, get into bed, and I was like, "Do I know you?" And just like this, a movie started to play in my mind. This imagery just flooded my brain. It was my little boy, Cash, and he was sitting on this little stool in front of his dad, my first husband. But I quickly knew that this was the relationship between God and his son. And they were sitting on these little stools right in front of each other. And my first husband was telling our little boy, "I love you." And he was saying, "You're such a good boy. You're such a good boy. You haven't done anything wrong. But Dad just needs you to go and do this one thing to save everybody." And I hate to ask this of you, but I have to ask this of you. But in the vision, he's just doing his head so earnestly, and he's saying, "Okay, Dad. Okay, Dad." And I knew that was God. And in that moment, that's when I fully came to know the Lord.